I'm going to continue the series of the famous Rabbanim of yesteryear. We've already covered more than 300 rabbis in this series we've been doing for nearly about 2.5 years. It happens to be the yard site of a really great rabbi of Turkish origin. He actually was born in Israel in of itself. His name was Rabbi Haim Avishalom Cohen-Perahia. Zeche Tzadik Libracha. He actually had the nickname the Halvan. What does Halvan mean? The milkman. He was born in the English year 1935 and passed away on Yud Bet Av, which happens to be today, in the year 2019, only 5 years ago from time of recording to be precise, on the 13th of August. Now friends, he was a great Kabbalist, one of the great rabbis of Kabbalists of Israel, nicknamed the milkman. He actually didn't look like a ordinary rabbi in of itself. He didn't wear like a black hat, black and white, let's just say. He wore a interesting, like a smaller, narrowish kind of cap, let's just say. And also dressed in regular clothing, like in a shirt, cardigan, so on and so forth. But he was a really, really great rabbi in of itself. So it's actually interesting. He was born in Jaffa, and came from great heritage. His father was Rav Ezra Eliyahu, and his mother's name was Blanca, Rabbinate Blanca Perahia Cohen. He was actually a descendant of another great rabbi, I believe, who actually originated from Izmir, Rabbi Eliyahu Cohen HaItamari, the Baal Shevet Musa, who wrote the great Torah colossal book and wrote many other great books also. I believe his father actually made Aliyah to land from Turkey to Israel in the year 1904. And they actually, the family itself, had a business with regards to producing cheese and milk. That's why he was nicknamed the Halvan, the milkman over there, very much because his family originated from that, and they worked in this field, in this beautiful land for many, many years. I believe when he was, I think when he was at around the age of 30 years of age, it's actually interesting. At that stage, in the early 1930s, his father founded a specific dairy place, also in America. It was called the Machlebet HaKohanim, which is very, very interesting, where they produced cheeses, I believe in Tel Aviv itself. And I think that's a name, this was a place very much, it became very, very well known. So when he was young, he actually learned in the Mostot of the Alliance Network at that point in time. The Alliance School Network was a more, not a very, very religious school network, but it was around, especially in North African countries, I think in Iran and Iraq, also various other places. But it wasn't necessarily the strong Torah network over there, be it as it may. And then afterwards, I believe, so he was learning in the school system over there, also in the school system called the Bilo institutions also. And then later on, he would go and serve in the Israeli Defense Forces, in the IDF. I think he was a sergeant over there, a disciplinary sergeant also. And later on, that was, so he was, or Shirat Kasemel, which, as we say in Hebrew. He got married to Daba Adit, and I believe they had 4 boys, Lavana Blanca, Ari Eliyahu, Avram, Yaakov, and Esther, if I'm not mistaken also. They had at least four boys. I'm not too sure how many girls also, but I'll try and double check that also. And when he was approximately 20 years of age, he went to work among the family's business, where they were producing all the milk and so on, and cheeses in Tel Aviv, very much so. He was so this actually lasted. He was working in this business for many, many years. I think it was a Dashan dairy, if I'm not mistaken. He was in a partnership with his brother also, and we'll name him by his nickname Harav Halban, as we say, was considered the last great group of Kabbalists who studied together in the 1960s, respectively. We're talking about around 60 years ago. Some of them were named after their professions. These great Kabbalists were actually enough, and that's why he also was named after his profession. Nickname was the milkman also, respectively. It's actually interesting, as stated at the beginning of the video, he didn't have the appearance, let's just say, of regular Orthodox rabbis. He didn't necessarily have a beard, and so on and so forth. He didn't wear a suit also, and he used to wear something called a casket hat, as you can say in Hebrew also. So that's very interesting. You should actually recommend everyone to look at pictures within regards to the great Rabbi also. So it's actually interesting. He of himself, he taught classes, I think, in Gemara, in Kabbalah, I believe in the synagogue in Givatayim. Givatayim is an area quite near Ramat Gan and quite near Petach Tikva. It was in the synagogue called the Bet Yosef Synagogue over there. And he gave a lot of brachot. And he would give, he was actually quite well known to give over forecasts, let's just say, like predictions within regards to political topics, general topics across the world. Very much so. He was very worldly, let's just say, in of itself. It's actually interesting. Unfortunately, I think someone tried to attack him in the year 2013, if I'm not mistaken, but that attacker was repelled also. He was hospitalized, I believe, in June 2019, and he was in a serious condition, I think, in Tel Shomer Hospital, and then, sadly he passed away on Yud Bet Av in the year 2019. This was, we're talking about 5 years ago from today, but really one of the great rabbis of great Kabbalists of Israel, respectively. Also, his rabbi's name was Rav Moshe Irera, if I'm not mistaken, who also was a great rabbi, I believe, from Saloniki, from modern-day Greece, and would later on become the Ab Bet Din, the head of the Jewish court in Tel Aviv, and among the great rabbanim of Tel Aviv, respectively. Also, when he passed away, he was buried in the plot, the cemetery plot in Sanhedria in Jerusalem. Also, I think he passed away naturally in Ramat Gan, because Tel Shomer Hospital is also based in Ramat Gan. Okay, let's explore some of the great books that the milkman wrote in of itself. I believe one of the books was Osreila Geffen, if I'm not mistaken, that was written. It was a very, very great work, which we could maybe expound on. I think it was published at the end of the Osreila Geffen books by, I think, that with the help of Rabbi Yehuda Scheinfeld. So let's look at some of the other books. Also, there was the Talei Haim, which brought around different, the coming of the gates, let's just say, was great conversations with regard to deep conversations. It was a great Torah book also itself, I think, which he actually wrote with Reuven Sasson, if I'm not mistaken, who happened to also be a great rabbi and Rosh Yeshiva of the Yeshivat in Ramat Sharon, also respectively. Another book was Al HaTorah. He wrote on the 5 books of Moses, and he wrote a book on the Moadim also respectively, on Elul Tishrei, which is naturally focusing on the Yomim Noraim, on Sukkot, one of the Shalosh Regalim, on Purim, also on Chanukah. He wrote a book on Pesach and Shavuot, 2 different of the Shalosh Regalim, 3 pilgrimage festivals also. Then there was a great work called the Anah B'Koach, and then there was a Kitzab V'Rananu. It was, I think, concentrating to awaken people, just in general, with regards to the Geula, and once to feel one's neshama. Then there was V'Yachad Levavenu, which was on the workings, on the kavanah, within regards to how we concentrate in ourselves, in itself, to come close to Hashem. Also, then there was Matzdikei Harabanim, Kochavim Leolam Va'ed. Once again, another book where we're trying to wake up within regards to, to push ourselves. Also, I believe this book itself actually had some form of collaboration with the great Rabbi Mordechai Eliyahu, if I'm not mistaken. Also, I think it was actually printed 2 years after the passing of Rabbi Mordechai Eliyahu. It was, if I'm not mistaken, connected maybe partly towards that great rabbi. Also, okay, so then there was Or Panei Chaim, which is on the Torah itself. I think it was printed in Rishon LeZion, if I'm not mistaken, in the year Hey Tav Shin Ayin Aleph. Then there was Orot Chaim, which is on the 5 books of Moses. Also Achat Sha'alti, which is based on faith, Emunah, from and there was Ish Yehudi also, which was, I think, a book based on the festival of Purim also, respectively. So many great works he was very much connected to. And please, 5 years ago he passed away. The milkman passed away 5 years ago. Rabbi Haim Avishalom Cohen, Perahia, Zecher Tzadik Libracha. Now friends, so he was approximately about 84 years of age at the time of passing. We've covered already around 300 great rabbanim of yesteryear. If you guys have been following, please don't forget to light candles in his memory, subscribe to the channel, and share the videos. And Bez Hashem will cover many more. So wishing you all a great day, and take care.